girl Dia, and I am the co-host with That's Powerful podcast. We are here today bringing you another episode, and today we're going to talk about love because it is in the air. Of course, we have our hosts,
I'm Royal.
and then we got Exie. And we are in
That's
the
right.
And we are in the building on today. And today I'm excited about what we're going to be talking about. Now, we're in today's that love. We'll call it like love bombing, but not in the terms of
trauma bonding.
Yeah, like trauma bonding and stuff like that. Everybody's buying Valentine's and, things of that nature. But today we're going to be talking about your love languages. We're going to be talking about, do you understand what your love languages are? And then how do you know that you can love correctly and healthy? And then we're going to get into some, dating and what dating looks like. So I'm excited. So are y'all ready? So when we when we were talking about what our love languages are, and when Royal kind of gave me this task of identifying what our love languages are, I came to find out that I am a person that loves gifts. I'm a person that loves words of affirmation. I'm a person that loves acts of service. Cause y'all know I'm a full-time mommy. I'm a whole mommy.
That's right.
Ain't nothing
We're beautiful
half
kids.
right. Ain't nothing half about me, okay?
That's right.
But I want to know what are your love language? What is your love language?
Well, yeah, physical touch.
Touch up all on me.
Like you said, words of affirmation.
Yeah.
We
have quality time.
Definitely, because if you don't have time for me, we can't do that. Because that's how you know when somebody likes you is when they make time for you.
Yeah.
And that's very important to me. Like, it doesn't matter how many hours I work, I'm still gonna make time for what I want.
Most definitely. What about you, Royal? What's some of your love languages?
My first one is quality time.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Physical touch.
Okay.
Quality time.
Uh-huh.
Affirmation.
Okay.
Acts of service.
Okay.
And then gifts.
Okay. So, what about, how can you describe quality? Describe to me, what's a time where quality time is I mean, it's at the highest peak, not going there or anything like that, but you really love, what is a position or maybe, I guess, a situation where quality time is
So for me, it's making time. Like Exie said, you busy, but you still sketch out time. For me, I don't care whether it's, you got to go to work at 8 o'clock. You stop by for an hour. You know what I'm saying? See how I'm doing. See if my face together. Make sure I ain't bruised up. It's, hey, I'm going to come by. We can sit in the car. I'm going to stop and get some chicken wings.
Exactly.
That's quality time. Like you said, we don't have to be laid up in the bed. Or even at a restaurant, it's the little things to me that count.
Say it again.
It's the little things that count.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I think I had issues with, as far as love language is concerned and being in previous relationship, was not loving them from their perspective, but me loving them from my perspective. And so I would give gifts knowing that they love quality time instead of creating quality time and not saying that they're not important or not the thing, but that's just not the biggest thing that they require. And so Exie, how do you feel about have you ever been in that situation where you love somebody from their perspective and they feel like you failed them in that area, or you didn't meet the standard for their love language?
Yeah, I would have to say, once again, we're going to take this back to when I was married.
Okay.
Yeah. I would definitely, maybe it was because we were opposite, and I don't know. I felt like I was doing more of the loving, but not getting the same. But I mean, we were.
So
young.
You feel like you wasn't receiving what you was giving out?
Yeah, pretty much.
So like reciprocation.
Say. Yeah.
So wouldn't that be the same thing? Because of our love language, we're expecting that from the other person.
Yeah. Most definitely.
We expect us out of
them.
Yeah. And it don't always work like that.
But I do believe that from the other person's perspective, they need to meet us where we are.
Yeah.
And I mean, in both parts, I've been guilty of not meeting a person where they are and considering their love languages. I'm not. Well, you ask what my love. I'm not the. Before I go to giving gifts, it's quality time. I'm trying to figure out where you at. Some people start off with giving gifts, and because they're not receiving, they feel like, oh, you're not giving me a gift. Well, that's not one of my top tier love languages.
Yeah.
Okay. You like gifts? That's your first one.
Yeah. Words of affirmation and acts of service. I think acts of service comes before words of affirmation, but they kind of go like they right neck and neck.
Why you say that?
Because like I never was really told like, I'm beautiful or I'm appreciated, especially like just like now that I'm becoming older, I feel like I need it more.
Do you think that comes from a place of you always showing up?
Yeah, because like recently I had a situation where like, the whole Valentine's Day and stuff like that. And, where my kids was concerned and, me and their dad was talking and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I can't do it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and make it look like we both did it. But it was just like, no, thank you, no, appreciate you or nothing like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like this is something that I haven't talked to him about, like it's not like a spur in the moment kind of thing. This like I planned this out, like we planned this out, and then for you to kind of just throw it on the ball and be like, oh yeah, that looks good, or like more so like, oh it's okay, it's done, cool. But there's no, hey, I appreciate you for stepping in for me, or like, you're a really great mom. Like that, I need to hear that sometimes because sometimes I don't feel like that. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing a good job. The only time I think I really feel like I'm doing a good job is like when my kids were like, Mom, you're great. But it's nice to hear from from the opposite sex. And then it's also nice to hear that I'm doing well. And I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
Can I tell you something?
What?
I believe you're doing an amazing job.
Oh,
even in your struggles, even as even watching you move from a different place, because it's your first time living here.
Yeah.
And it's unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I think you're doing an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're doing an amazing job.
That's why I want to keep you.
That's right.
Yeah,
if it's up,
then it's stuck. But we only going up, up, up.
It's only up from here.
Yeah.
Hey!
Going up.
Church babies.
Oh, well, I can't claim that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so quality time. What else?
Quality time, acts of service.
That's it? 2? You don't care about the other 3?
Quality time. I mean, I do. Like, I do care about them. And I actually, well, let me say this. Because I just don't want to stick it to just 3. Like, if I had 4, I do like quality time.
Okay.
I really enjoy, like, I want to be in your skin. I want to rub.
Girl,
I want to, like, I want to have that moment where I can just brace the back of your neck. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Girl.
Just, I want to provide that comfort, and I just, honestly, even if you just have like a little hand touch, like I just want to, I don't know.
Feel that warm embrace.
Yeah, but quality time is not, and I think I'm in physical touch there. But I even think like quality, like let me just sit with you. Like we don't have to do nothing. We can breathe. We can look. You know how back in the day,
each other breathe.
Right? You know how you be back in the day and your legs be up on the wall, and you be on the refrigerator talking, caking.
I hate that.
No.
Baby, we love that over here.
Right.
Feet be in the air. Come on, hello.
Listen.
Right.
Let's take it back to the high school days, okay?
Like, even if you on a FaceTime with me me and you're just breathing, like, I feel like that's quality time. Like, we don't have to talk about nothing. I just want your presence.
Listen.
Like, just show up at my house.
So do you feel like if a person's not giving you that, they're not invested in you?
I do.
I feel the same way.
I feel like
because I don't ask for much.
That's a way of showing that they're interested.
Yeah. Like, my thing is, this is how I know you like me, in the fact that you just want to be around me. Yeah. Like, you don't require anything else. I could be looking crazy. I don't have no makeup on. Exactly. I don't have. Like, you just want to be
black around the eyes.
Right. Okay. I don't know about the corona, but yeah.
I just want to look at you.
Yeah. So I think that's important. Like it shows me that you're invested. Mm-hmm. It shows me that you're proactive. You're present. Yeah. First and foremost, I need you to be present.
That part.
I don't need you to
what does that look like?
Like, actively listening, actively listening, actively, like, watching, being observant. Like, you know what I like, what I don't like. Mm-hmm. Don't be doing stuff that is going to provoke me and you know it's going to make me upset. Mm-hmm. Don't do things intentionally.
Well, what if they don't know that?
Well, my thing is, if I told you and you still do it, because I'm going to communicate it. I'm not going to leave you.
How many times?
Baby, I think I'm going to have to give you a good 2.
I say 3.
Mm-mm.
No, strike 3 out.
I'm not
one
saying
for the father, the son.
But my thing is, yet again, let's go back to when we were talking about, and this was before we got off air. But wasting my breath, like this is what I learned. Anybody that want to will. Anybody want to?
I agree.
Will and I don't. I
no
will
excuses.
Not. I don't have to speak multiple times.
Girl, say it again.
For you to execute what I'm asking. Just like me, like if you're wanting me to do something, because I love you, because I care for you, because I'm intentional and I want our relationship to be at its best capacity. I'm going, baby. I'm trying to compete with you. I'm trying to outdo you. I'm paying attention
to prove a point.
No. Because when I say compete, I'm saying in a place of, I want it to not be in a place where I'm complacent. I don't want to be in a place where I'm comfortable with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to be in a place where I'm doing things and not just doing anything, but I'm being on purpose. I'm being intentional about our relationship.
It's almost like, they say when what do they say? When people get you, they stop trying.
Yeah.
They stop dating you.
I've experienced that.
Really?
So yeah.
You've experienced that, actually? What was your last experience of that?
Tell us.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
That's what our line is. Let's talk about it.
Ew.
Not you got that many stories.
Wait,
Jesus,
Jesus,
y'all, she got so many stories.
Flashing for her eyes, y'all. Hold on, let her get it together.
Right, y'all gotta come back to me because I gotta tell. I mean,
okay,
I gotta think of the good one. That's really gone.
We need a good one.
Okay,
Thea, go.
I feel like it's let me not. Okay. I think just like in my marriage, like everything that he was doing before we got married, he no longer did it after we got married. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, for an example, he would buy me flowers. He would write me little notes and stuff like that. I mean, sending paragraphs in the text message. Okay,
essays.
I mean, the juicy
baby, I love you so much. I like the way your skin feels up on me.
I mean, he
novels.
Look, when he wake up in the morning, I'm the first one he calling. But that stopped during marriage. During
at what point?
I think it stopped after it stopped when he cheated on me. And that was like 6 months into the marriage.
Now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Got a question for you. How did you play a part in him cheating on you? Was it something that he was lacking as a man? What about you played a part into him cheating? To which made him stop doing the things that he was doing before you guys got together?
Honestly, if I could be honest, and he would say this too, like for this particular situation, like it was really him.
Okay.
I kind of found out that he had an addiction to like pornography and stuff like that.
He wasn't fulfilled.
Yeah, and so like even if I tried to fulfill it, I wouldn't be able to fulfill it because you're doing something totally outside of our marriage. And then it's an addiction. Like I'm not going to be like people think you get married and you have all this sex and that's not the reality.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I wasn't available for that, but also too you have a problem and you're trying to fix that problem with our marriage.
Yeah.
And so also too, he will also say, and I believe that, I can say this, but his friends, his friends introduced him to somebody that he would potentially that he slept with. And a lot of it's a saying says the friends that you keep is the character that you have, and so if you're around liars, you're gonna lie. If you're what is that saying, a bird that flock together,
birds of a feather flock together.
I agree.
And so if you're a cheat, if you got people like even if they never cheat or they're thinking about cheating, the conversation plants something that makes you curious and then you act on it. And so for that I'm going to have to say I'm guilty free of that. I did forgive him, and then we continued on in our marriage.
Love that. Oh, it ain't connected. We love that though.
Yeah.
She said she free, y'all. Hey,
I'm free.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, and and that's something that he had told me, like, it wasn't you, like, and that's something I will not take on. And I did take on, because I'm like, when somebody cheats, it's like, is there something wrong with me?
Yeah, you start looking at yourself.
Definitely question.
What about me? Yeah.
People don't understand the insecurities, the low self-esteem. Then you start trying to make yourself.
That's a whole nother episode. And that's
I struggle with that. Then my thing is, then you cheated on me while I was pregnant.
Wow.
Like, I'm in a very sensitive. Like, my body is not what it looked like. Like my face, my nose, my hair was long, y'all. It's getting back. But it was like I'm going through all these transitions, and that's the one thing you do, while I'm carrying our child, and I understood and I gave grace, and that was a really hard pill to swallow. I don't know, I didn't give grace. It was really a hard pill to swallow because I had never dealt with anything like that.
Yeah. Exie, you remember that story?
Listen.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, now it definitely takes me back to when I was married.
Okay.
Once again,
okay.
It's like
it's
like all the things that we talk about. It has something to do with when I was married.
The marriage is eating us up.
And it's like you said, when you first meet somebody, it's all good. They whining and dining, spending time. And I'm not the fancy type. We don't have to do that. Like, we could just chill at the house or in the parking lot. In the car, like you said. Yeah. And it's like he was doing all that before. But then when we got married, that's when you see the real them. Like, it's like,
so you're saying it's
so what happened to this adorable person I met in the beginning? And then it's like, soon as we get married, it's like everything's just out the window. Like, what happened?
I mean, can I ask, Royal, have you ever done that? You got in a relationship with somebody and then you stopped doing what you did?
I don't think I have done that.
Or have you been the recipient of that?
Yes.
Okay, let's.
So, like, for example, for me, the good mornings,
By the way, you didn't send my good morning text.
I did not.
Did.
You're going to get one tomorrow.
Okay.
You're going to get one tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to be consistent.
That's
baby,
right.
Because if we're going to be great
in all the areas.
Yeah. I need you to be consistent.
So, for me, that's stopped. It was, I got to work and was busy. Then you wake up, put your clothes on, wash your face, check your emails. So how did you not
be on Instagram, Facebook?
You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you not think about saying good morning, especially I feel like that's a greeting of starting the day. Like that's essential for me. But then that stopped. I started getting excuses like, oh, I was busy and you that busy. I understand we busy.
That means they're not interested.
Or I'm not a priority.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you don't like me enough.
Once we're not priority,
you don't like. So that brings me back here, Royal. You don't like me enough,
girl.
You miss what?
Come on, let's talk about it.
You want to know something? I actually FaceTime you first, though.
At 12:00.
Well, the thing about it is
excuses.
No.
It's a but.
No.
When I learned when people say but, it's a form of justifying.
No, because I had told you that I was not feeling good.
You did say that.
Any other time I'm on the phone, and we was in the bed at this. We was not want to say it like
wait, no, y'all. She said we was in the bed. In the bed. She was in her bed, and I was in my bed
in two separate
FaceTime.
Cities, y'all. Two separate cities. Just have to make that known.
Ain't nobody shacking over here. You know we got some saints that support us too.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
We got some saints.
Y'all
was shacking.
We was on FaceTime.
We was spending quality time. That's so. Do you feel like FaceTime is quality time?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. If you, I would prefer you FaceTime me than you actually call me on the phone.
We need to see.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Why? I don't want to show my face all the time. Like, hair not done.
It don't matter.
But my thing is that's why safe places have to be created, because then I can be completely vulnerable with you and I don't have to worry about that, because I don't have to feel like I have to put on makeup all the time or impress you all the time. I can be me. I'm not saying that I'm just going to let myself be lax and not look, upkeep myself, but I'm safe with you. And that's why I want to be vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To that extent. And I think that's important. Now, if you feel like I got to walk around with a face made up all the single time and I can't let my hair down ever, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because sometimes sometimes like I don't have the ability to always do my makeup. Like I can if I really wanted to, but there's sometimes where I'm running late.
Maybe that's something to me, because I be wanting to look dead up. I love that.
I mean, it's your preference, and I'm not saying that it's a bad preference. I'm just saying that due to you don't have the lifestyle that I have, though. So you can do that.
Yeah.
That's easy for you to get all made up and look good and look sharp and fill in your beard and stuff like that with your beard oil.
Wait a minute.
Fill in, honey. Got that Beijing.
Wait a minute. I'm offended. Hold on. I am so offended. She feel like this is filled in. Baby, this is natural.
Come on, natural.
Huh? This is natural.
It looks good.
Thank you so much.
It looks good. You look really handsome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, you can't come.
You gassed me up. You see my leg there? You done gassed me up.
This man up.
Look, y'all.
Gas me up.
Look, y'all. This is where that he's talking about. He don't like that, but he out here in the couch.
You got him over here smiling.
Right.
She growing up.
Y'all, my podcast fiance, he acting up, y'all. Y'all gotta excuse him.
She is gassing me up. Don't gas me up.
I feel like if you cannot do simple things as far as like just doing the dishes for me and going out your way, like just sacrificing a little bit of time for me, I just feel like, am I not important enough for you to do that, to alleviate stressors for me, knowing that either I'm occupied with this or I'm occupied with that, I'm working full time, like I'm a stay at home mom, like try to alleviate some of the pressures. And my thing is, if you bypass and you know that stuff needs to be done and you don't do it, that makes me feel some type of way. Yeah. That makes me feel that you don't see me enough or you don't appreciate me enough to say, you know what, hey, let me just go ahead and try to help in this area. Is that before you express it? Or you automatically expect that out of a person? I think that communication is big. I think that me telling you what I'm expecting and not have, because I think that the issue is that we try to make people read our minds and they cannot read our minds.
That's very true.
I don't expect you to read my mind, but I do expect that if I do tell you something, for you to know me enough to say, okay, she's mentioned this. She has, that's where that observation comes in.
Yeah.
You can be observant
listening
about the person
attention.
that you're partnering with, and it's not even just in intimate relationship. You as my friend, if you're seeing that there's a need, be your friend and see what I need. And even if you don't do something, ask me. And then you won't have to question what it is that I'm needing. Vice versa, because I will put myself in that. I do that for my friends all the time. What do you need? How can I help? What do you need help with? And if I don't have the answer, I'm going to find it to make sure you're accommodated. Like, for an example, I love her. So I have a friend, I've known her about 7 years, and one of the things is that she likes is gifts. She likes candles and stuff like that. And so although I'm across the world and stuff like that, when I moved, I booked out a whole little bath and body spa for her to get a massage thingy.
That's powerful.
So like, if friend. You wanted to, you would. And I'm observing who you are, which then in my observation I can act on that. You don't even have to ask me because I know you. And so I think being observant and not malnourishing the relationship goes a long way. And if you don't know, ask.
Exactly. Actually, have you experienced that in your marriage, your first marriage?
I definitely have. I would have to say, like, it shouldn't take me to always like say something. Like she said, listen and pay attention. When I tell you these things in the beginning,
be attentive.
It's your job to, like, oh, okay, well, she likes this. Let me go see if I could pick that up for her. But it's like, once again, they do that in the beginning, and then like. Once you're married and move in together, it just stops.
So why do you think that happens? Once you become married, become into this and become into the relationship, it stops. Why do you think that?
I don't know. I've asked that question, and it's like, why am I being pushed away? But it's like, why did you ask me to marry you if you're not gonna do the things that you're supposed to do in a marriage?
Right.
Like, in relationship, like, it goes even if you're married or not. Like, if you don't want to be married, just.
But do you feel like because the lack of that means that they don't want to be married no more? Because I was in a relationship.
That's how I felt.
Why?
Because it's like, you're pushing me away. Like, either you want this or you don't.
But what made you get to that point, though? What made you in your mind?
After that first year. It was the first year. It was like, I tried to stick it out. I mean, it lasted 2 years, but, once again, I got that praying mom. She's like, oh, well, maybe you just pray about it. I tried that, but it's like, when we're not the same, it's different.
Yeah.
Because I'm the praying one and you're not.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't be the only one praying, but it's like, I don't know. Some people, they want to be married and in a relationship, but they don't want to do the work.
What it takes.
It's like, it's like, why waste my time?
You just want the title. You just want the title, but you don't want to put in the work.
You don't want to put in the work.
The profile, for the image of other people, for your social media. But then behind scenes, you can't do what it takes
different,
to keep me around.
But real relationship requires accountability. It requires integrity.
Yeah.
It requires, like, love is not enough.
Yeah.
People go into marriage thinking that love is going to hold them over, and that is not factual, because there's going to be some days that I don't like you. There's going to be some days where I don't want to be with you.
And that's okay.
But the thing about it is if we have a foundation, if we have a friendship and we understand, like, why we're doing what we're doing, and not doing it for clicks and not doing it for
likes,
comments, like,
some of these people on TikTok and Instagram, they just do it because they're doing it for the clout.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's cute for the outer appearance, but you struggling, and I believe a person can only put on for so long.
Yeah, and it's a facade. It's not real. real love. Ooh, glory.
We need
Real love.
authentic.
How you know that you have somebody for real is when life starts lifing, when challenges, when finances are not where they're supposed to be, when
I got a story for that.
When my body isn't what you married in the beginning, where I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm trying to pick up the pieces, or even if I get sick.
Yeah, it's like you start to depend on that person, like, because it's almost like I have strength where I'm weak at, you are strong at.
Yeah,
and
when
where
I fall,
you are,
I need you to pick me up.
and where you're weak at, I can, like, for me, I've been in a relationship where, like, emotionally, I'm the most stronger person. I can give language to how you feeling, but then you good with logistics, you good with paying bills, and I'm not. I got what do they call it when you spend money for going shopping? It's like therapeutic for some people, but you can't take care of your responsibility in that person. And so, I've been in a relationship where it's like, hey, help me budget this, that, and the other. But as you said, when life starts happening, it's like they're not
That's
there.
when you get to see.
Yeah, because that real life happened to me. Like, car got stolen.
Jeez.
2 weeks, you're like, oh, I want to move into my own place because it's too much, and it's like, wait, this is a testing. But as you said, it was like when a person don't really have those moral standards and believe in God, kind of, they don't go to church or have that thing. It's like you bailed out when it got hard.
Pretty much.
And I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna actually remember that. So if you ever try to circle the block or whatever the case may be, I remember that when it got hard, you left, and you gave up on me.
Yeah, most definitely.
Am I the only one experiencing
that? No,
I
actually I just experienced that with my ex-husband. Like, like literally, like around this time last year,
the beginning of the year.
Yeah, the beginning of the year or whatever. We were making progress, and I asked a simple question, and basically, it was, I don't want to be accountable. You hold me to this standard, and it's just like I don't have the ability to hold this position. Why? Because you wanted the image of it. You didn't want the responsibility and the accountability of
the
it.
idea of
it. You love the
some
idea.
People love the idea of a relationship. But when it comes to getting in the dirt and getting your hands dirty, I don't want to do this. You bail out. You on to the next one, and it's like you was able to move that easily, like, but you weren't willing to get your hands dirty. How is that? Which has me thinking, now I'm testing your love languages. Like, okay, what is this? What is this? What is this? Like, were you really into this? Because now I'm questioning all your motives from before.
Yet again, and so it goes back to the foundation and what I said for this whole thing: integrity.
Yeah,
my motives need to be integral on why I'm doing relationships.
Yeah, some people don't have that though.
They don't.
So
it's a lot.
So, Exy, let me ask you something. You say it's a lot. Why you say it's a lot?
Because it's a lot of people that do not understand. You just be like, because it just seems like when you meet somebody, then the next person, you be like, what is going on? Like, none of y'all understand.
Yeah. No, I feel that somebody asked
just be like, dang, can I just find somebody who on the same level understand the things that I know?
Seriously. This year, I'm like, I'm not trying to get another situationship, like, because that's what it becomes. It's not a relationship. Because oh my God.
It'd be a situation.
No, it'd be a situation. Because when we think about, if we actually think about we have the relation that comes with integrity, being accountable, being honest, communication.
Say it again.
The communication is key.
Yeah.
And so it becomes like, no, this was a situationship.
Yeah.
Because you wasn't willing to go through all the ranks.
Yeah. And I think transparency is like, you have to be transparent. Like, we had that conversation on our phone about what and that was like, y'all don't even understand. Like, I had a major transparent
which
breakthrough.
Was good. That's self-evaluation.
And, I think you have to be transparent. And before you can be transparent with somebody else, you have to be transparent with self. And before you can love somebody, you have to love yourself.
Exactly.
And if you don't love yourself, you don't have the ability to love anybody else.
Because here's the thing: how can you love me and not love yourself?
Exactly.
But and the thing about it is, in result of me not loving myself, I'm going to treat you like I don't love myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to treat you exactly how I treat. So I'm not going to treat you with respect. I'm not going to treat you with integrity. I'm not going to communicate with you, because why? I don't communicate with myself. I don't know how to process my feelings. I don't know how to love on I don't know how to be by myself. So what makes you think that when I come into a relationship broken, that I have the ability to help you too? I'm just as broken as you are. That's why it's important to be okay with you. And then when you're okay with you, then you have the ability to let somebody in your space.
Now listen, when I first got my first apartment, I wasn't, it took somebody who I looked at as a mentor to say this to me. And they told me, they said, you need to be by yourself. They said, and this was just in casual conversation that I explained to them, pretty much the last 2 or 3 years of my life. And they literally helped me reflect back to, they was like, remember, you weren't even in your own place a month before you start letting somebody come over.
Yeah.
That turned into 3 days to a week. And so you start letting them into your space. My first apartment, I didn't really learn how to be by myself. I was uncomfortable. I didn't have decorations on the wall. There was an empty space. I didn't know how that. So when they said that, it made me look at myself like, I don't know what it is to be alone. And when I started to reflect, I realized that leaving my mother's house, I went to living with somebody else. Living with somebody else. So I never realized the important to being by yourself. When I took hold to that, I started to reflect about me. What voice in my life plays a part of me not being by myself? Like what about me always want to be around somebody?
Well, one of the things that I can help you identify is
help us.
Being codependent.
Yeah.
When you don't leave the nest correctly.
Y'all say that.
Wait a minute. Wait a
minute.
Talk, girl.
When you don't leave the nest correctly.
Oh my God.
And let me tell y'all something, because God has been so good, and I just got to testify really, really fast.
That is so good.
The Lord gave me the opportunity to go back and live with my spiritual parents. And when I got this live with my spiritual parents, I lived with them twice. The first time, I did not leave the nest correctly. I left it in a place of hurt, trauma, uncomfortableness, feeling like I'm independent, and I wind up losing that place.
My.
But I went back again, and when I tell you guys I did it correctly, everything was peaceful.
You passed the test.
I passed it. Like, I communicated well. I didn't do anything underhandedly. I wasn't leaving in a place of anger or I felt attacked. But I left there leaving healed. I left there feeling accomplished. I left there with goals. I left there with a plan. I left there with strategy and in a place where I was level-headed. I had matured to a place where I knew I could handle my business. And I did not need a man or I didn't even need a friend to live with me.
Come on.
And one of the things I've understand is you have to know how you are by yourself when nobody's looking. And when you don't have anybody looking, what are your decisions? What are you cultivating in your place that you call safety? When you're scared or you're going through a hard time, are you inviting somebody over? In a time where where you're depressed or you're lacking this or you're lacking that, you're making somebody come live with you because you don't know how to balance your money right. You know, like, why is it?
Trying to cut the cost.
Yeah, like
let me get a
it's
roommate.
not that it's even beneficial, because even the person that you invite into your place, then you're ready to hurry up and get them out because they were never supposed to live with you. You know, but we have to be in a place where we are progressing with progress.
That's powerful.
Yeah, that
I mean, no,
seriously. I've expressed this to multiple of my friends. You have to learn how to be by yourself, because if you never know how to be by yourself, you don't know where your boundaries, where your limitations are. You don't even know how clean you are without living with somebody else. Let me tell y'all something. My house stay clean. Girl. I might have 3 kids, but my house, and for a long time I thought it was very impossible. Like, I could not keep a clean house. Why? Because my mind was all over the place. I didn't have no peace. I was reckless.
And your mind reflected your household.
Yes, it did. Like, y'all,
that's powerful.
I'm trying to tell you, I can never keep my car clean. You know, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but what I'm saying is that I'm in a place where I'm managing me well. And you have to manage you well before you try to come in and manage somebody else. And so if I want to be great for you, I need to be great for myself. If I'm going to encourage you, I need to be able to encourage myself. Come on here.
That's it, honey.
Here. You have to be able to tell yourself, by any means necessary, I'm going to accomplish my goals, whether it's with someone or without someone. And me being able to accomplish my goals should not be predicated on me being with somebody.
Now, I don't mean to cut you off, woman of God, but you are speaking to me because I'm a very relational type person. And for me, I feel like to come up, I needed to have somebody with me.
Is that why I'm here?
She funny.
No, I'm just like...
No.
Okay.
No, that's not why. That's good. That's going in.
No, like that.
No. Don't do that, boo. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, but relational wise,
being strong with me today.
Relational wise, I realized that, like, I'm very relational, and I'm like, I would love somebody to be my. But I realized in my, like, transition in life over the last 2 years is that I've made decisions based off somebody else.
Yeah.
Which means I can't make decisions by myself.
Yeah. You're codependent.
Yeah. So this year I have made. I'm not trying to get in a relationship.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, hold on.
We're going to let the Lord have his way. If he want to have his way, we're going to put it on the Lord.
Yes. Huh? Wait, because we making commitments and then reneging. So I'm trying to figure out what we doing. Baby, because I ain't forced nothing. Okay, don't make me trying to be out. Now, Exy, he trying to make me out here like I'm just trying to force.
It's cool.
Now,
don't worry about it.
The God I serve, he's gentle.
That's in the podcast world. That's the podcast world. In the real world, I ain't trying to deal with no relationships or situationships.
Come on here.
No, for real, on a serious note, I feel like it would delay my purpose.
Yeah.
We talked about in the last podcast, 2024 is so intentional. Like, I this podcast, I did it within a month, and I'm so proud of myself.
Come on here. Amen and amen.
I said what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I had the equipment, had the resources, and I'm utilizing them. And I feel like people now, there's a lot of people who feel like, oh yeah, for me to entering a new year is like enter a new book, a new chapter.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I look at New Year's. Like, oh, you know, people, they got something really against, you know, New Year's. There's some people, we still doing the same thing we was doing last year. But there's some of us like, listen, I can't go crossing over into this new year doing the same stuff. And that's been for me. So my goals is, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it without anybody else. I don't need to be in a relationship for me to achieve my goals. I don't need that, because if I can't do this by myself, then I can't do it all. Do it at all. If I need somebody else to do it, then it's like that. It shows the voids and trauma issues that I'm dealing with internally. And I don't need that. So I'm determined this year I'm doing it by myself. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Like I'm going after my dreams, my goals.
Step out on faith.
I'm stepping out on faith by
Yes.
myself. I don't need Pookie to say to cheer
Mhm.
me on and just set it up because I know what God has called me to do, and I know my purpose, and I know the plan that God has had for me.
Yeah.
What the Bible say? He knew me in my mother's womb.
Yeah. Come on.
He had plans for me while I was in my mother's womb. Even if my mother don't even support me, even if my father don't, sister, brother,
Come on
them,
here,
whatever,
Bishop.
even if nobody ever supports you, I believe you still in this year, if you're not intentional, you need to be intentional and still go after what God has planned for you. I'm gonna get off that.
Amen.
Well,
come on here.
This is what I want to
That's
say.
powerful.
That's powerful.
Look, that is powerful.
That is powerful.
But I want to let you know that I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it.
Because I know it took a lot to do this and advance this and back it with everything that you have, against all adversity that you have faced. I'm really, really proud of you. And I want to let you know that you have something and we need what you have, and we need you not to stop just because it gets hard and it's uncomfortable. We need you to produce. We need you to give evidence to the things that God has called you to be. And I need you to block out every single voice that told you that you're not good enough, every voice that's told you that you're not going to make it, every voice that's told you that you're not equipped for it, that you're not built for it, because you are. And if you weren't, you would not be here. And so I need to speak life over you and tell you that you have something for this earth, and the earth is going to give way for what God is doing in your life. And so this is not time to stop. This is time to go full force with momentum. And I need you to understand that if they don't support, I need you to remember this now, because when later it comes down the line and you start seeing people not willing to support you, I need you to engraft it in your head by any means necessary, because God gave it to me. He didn't give it to them. He gave it to me. And so your vision has to go forth. And I just want you to know that you're special. Like, that's why your name is royal. You're special. And I need you to continue to keep the crown on your head. And I need you, every time it feels a little heavy, to ask God to give you strength to carry what it is that He's placed in your belly. We need you.
Amen.
I appreciate that.
Hallelujah.
I appreciate that so much, because I'm doing it scared.
Yeah.
Scared and all. I get discouraged, but He will do it. And I appreciate you all for being on this journey with me.
Because we going to lift you up.
That's right. That's right.
We're gonna lift
and
each
so
other up.
I really feel like this year, we talking about love language, but I really feel like the Lord is shifting like my inner circle, my friend group. It was actually just that when I was on the phone, I was like, she's trying to get to the studio.
Yeah. Most definitely.
And I don't think she's understanding what I'm trying. I was literally on the phone with her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's do virtual live on Thursday. Let's just go live. But Exie was like, I come off to work, this, that, and the other. I'm like, I was literally on the phone with her. I was like, I don't think she understands that I'm not trying to go down to the studio. We can do it from my house.
Yeah.
But it was Exie that was like, that kept me encouraged. I was like, that's what I need.
Yeah, most definitely.
And then Thea was like, I can come down Wednesday.
Yeah.
I said, we got Bible study, but she was like, I can come afterwards. And so, but that's a love language for me, because this is quality time.
Yeah.
Even just if I go there, that's friendship. Just saying, hey, listen, that's a quality time. Even though I'm doing hair, I'm traveling. You got kids. I'll bring my kids. That's a form of quality time. Yeah. If somebody wants to be in your life, relational, friendship wise, they gonna make it happen.
Yeah, most definitely. And not have excuses, because people prioritize what they want and who they want in their life. And personally, I just think that we need to get to a place where we need to stop making excuses. That's the reason why we still doing 2023 things now. Because we are full of excuses, and we
before
need to,
pandemic stuff.
Right. We need to empty ourselves out of excuses. And so, I think you were talking about inner circle, and I just want to touch on that, because one of the things that I feel like I've been transitioning into is different circles, like just the way that my mind is and where my focus is and my drive is. I don't have time for those that complain and are not producing or not or
no
not
fruit,
even
no purpose, like we said in the last episode.
There's like I don't see any evidence of anything outside of your complaints happening.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of being bogged down by, you know, dead things. Like I want to surround myself, you know, in my life around things that are moving, that are progressing, that are elevating. And I can't do that. I can't do that with, you know, those who don't want to elevate themselves.
Absolutely.
And I can't carry you.
Absolutely.
You have to have the motivation.
That's too much weight.
Yeah.
You already heavy as it is.
Exactly.
Right.
Look.
You want me to take you
that's
in that?
Yeah, like, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's like it's almost like I can't want something more for you than you want it for yourself.
Exactly.
And that's that potential that we fall in love with.
Because if you ain't going where I'm going, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Cut.
And people be offended. People be offended when you cut them off. Or like you're no longer acting, you know, the way that you.
Yeah,
like right. Now you this and that. You doing this and that.
You be trying to figure out where this dead weight. Why am I not progressing?
Right. Or people try to downplay you, like, oh, you doing that? You doing? I ain't even know. Yes, you do. I'm all over the internet, baby. You see my face everywhere. Stop trying to downplay.
Baby, I'm all over the internet.
Right. All over.
I'm all over the internet. You
right.
hear me?
And baby, if you don't see me, your friends see me.
Your friends see me.
And
your
mama
share
me. You know,
your daddy
talk
see
about
me.
It.
Right. And so my thing is
Absolutely.
just like, you know, you can't be offended because I'm now moving or people are moving differently. The reason why people are moving differently because there has been time shown that there's never been progression where you're concerned. And so now it's time for me to cut you off because you are a branch that's hindering my growth.
Exactly.
And I'm wanting to see the fruit of everything that is attached to my life. Period.
Say that again, girl.
Yeah.
And I can't do that with feeling like you're jealous, with feeling that you're intimidated, with feeling like you're inadequate, with feeling like the thing about it is if you boss up with me, we can boss up together. We can conquer this together.
Listen.
But baby, you're not going to ride off of my word.
You're not at all.
Absolutely.
We're not doing that in 2024.
A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people do not like that at all.
Love languages.
Love language.
Love language.
Let's wrap it up.
I need my text in the morning.
You need your text in the morning.
Yes.
That's affirmation for you?
Yeah, but you know, you were saying that us showing up, that's really acts of service.
That is.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Actually said her rehearsal was I said, look at God working. Look at God.
Won't he will?
Because we have to reschedule and all this other stuff was going on this week. You know, life happens. But it's an act of service. And I think love language is not only plays in relationships, but also plays in friendships as well.
Yeah, even family ships.
So what's your wrapping up in conclusion?
My wrap up in conclusion, I think that, you know, this is the time to go back to the drawing board. And what I mean by go back to the drawing board is I need you to go back to a place of finding out who you are authentically. And don't be afraid of what you find, because you will find some beautiful things and you will even find some things that are not so pretty.
Absolutely.
But that is why we have an opportunity to address those things. And you don't have to address those things by yourself. We talked about in the earlier the podcast that we did before, therapy and Jesus is the way to go. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think also to reevaluating who you are surrounding yourself with. In this moment, in this time, it is very crucial, I believe, that you reevaluate who you are connected to, because who you are connected to can either catapult you or slow you down. And this is not the time to be slowed down. Y'all have been slowed down long enough. Y'all have been hindered long enough. Y'all have
come up out of that lullaby.
Right. Y'all have been fruitless long enough.
Come up out of there.
Look, how long?
Come up out of there.
How long do you want to stay in a place where you're no longer producing fruit, where you're no longer seeing evidence of your hard work? You feel like you're hitting walls. So my thing is, go back to the drawing board. Rewrite the vision for your life. You have the ability to rewrite the vision for your life and execute it. How do I know this? Because I'm doing it. You're looking at a revised vision. Hallelujah.
Revised vision.
You're looking at a revised vision. Y'all, I had absolutely nothing. I came from a whole nother state, had absolutely nothing. 3 kids, no job, nothing, no money to my name. And let me tell you right now, I am living in my best season. I am living in the abundance.
Overflow.
What you
overflow.
said.
My kids absolutely want for nothing. And if I can do it, you can do it. I need y'all to get up. Revise the vision.
Revise.
Because who's going to tell you that you can't? Ain't that right? Who's going to tell them that they can't?
That's right. Period.
Revise the vision.
Revise.
Come on.
That's it.
That's all you got.
Love yourself.